Hello, hello. How is everyone this fine evening? I hope you had an amazing day and are ready to relax a bit. It's time to settle down, just get some reading done. That's what I'm looking forward to anyways. It's been quite a day, It's one of those days where busy all day long, but still feel like you've got nothing done. Tell me I'm not the only one. We all have those days, right? Right? It's like, but I've been working all day. How come that's all I can cross off of my list? It's very frustrating. But I'm going to an event tomorrow. Marie Benedict and Victoria Christopher Murray are going to be at Kindred Stories downtown talking about their new book. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called. Let's see. A Pair of Aces. That's it. A Pair of Aces. And it's a historical fiction I'm very excited about. You had to bring your cheese with you?
I was going upstairs.
Oh, sorry. Zafo just walked in. He has a chunk of cheese on a cutting board. And I'm like, are you trapping a really big rat? Like, what's happening right now? It's his dinner. He was taking it upstairs. He wanted to grab his iPad. I was like, what am I missing? So yeah, so I'm doing that tomorrow. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's see, which means I will not be able to film my TBR game until July 1st. It's all good. It's all good. I know what I'm reading first anyways, no matter what the game says. So, and how are y'all this evening? Who do we have with us tonight? We have Pearl. Why, hello, Pearl. How are you? Pearl goes, here, hello. And Chelsea's joined us. Hello, Chelsea. So good to see you. And Jen is here. Hello. I've switched to the Covenant of Water for my night reading. Hope your day went well. That one is on my TBR. You have to tell me if I should add it. Like, prioritize it. It's already on there. It's all good. But I think I mainly put it on there because it was on that, top 10 of the 25 New York Times best of. But they put My Brilliant Friend as number 1, and it was fine. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't bad, but the best book? Very confused. And Jen said hi to Pearl. And Chelsea says, I'm currently reading Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Excellent. I have now read Song of Achilles and Circe. So I've read both of them. It's like they're not a duology at all, but they feel like one almost. And Jen said, hey, Chelsea. Pearl says, hi there, Jen. And Allie has joined us. Why, hello, Allie. How are you this fine evening? How did your day go? Allie says, hello, Kelly and chat. Reading the Book of Lost Friends by Lisa Wingate on page 74. Excellent. And Pearl says, hi there, Allie and Chelsea. Allie says, hi, Pearl. And Molly has joined us. Why, hello, Molly. How are you? I'm looking at the stuff I have already for my journaling, thinking about what I'm going to use and what gets to be passed on because the duplicates I have and stuff. So I think that totally might work. And Molly said hi to Pearl, Chelsea, Jen, Allie, and me. Why, thank you. And Pearl says, hi there, Molly. And Demers is in. Hello, Demers. It's so good to see you. Hi, Kelly and everyone. Molly says, hiya, Demers. Pearl says, hi there, Demers. And Sue has joined us. It is so good to see you, Sue. Are you ready to read? Allie says, hi, Molly. Molly says, I just saw this, have not watched yet. What is it? Shane's Impossible Reading Challenge intro. You know, I think her kid's good enough for me, but I'll watch it because I can't help myself. Because let's face it, I don't really want an impossible one. I tend to, if I think I can't win, there's no point. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Pearl says, hi there, Sue. Demers says, hi, Molly and Pearl. Chelsea says, have a good night. I am going to go to bed, but I wanted to stop in. Oh, well, thank you so much, Chelsea. It was so good seeing you. Will you have really good sleep? Sleep well. Have good dreams. Jen says, I'm enjoying Covenant. It's very literary, but the story is beautiful. I like that. I'm okay with literary. I don't mind literary unless they're trying to do spec fic, because then they just F it up so bad. It makes me so mad. But otherwise, I actually don't mind literary. I have to be in the mood, though. Most of the time, I don't have to be in the mood for anything. I have to be in the mood for literary because you have to be patient. Literary takes its damn time. And Molly says, yay for journal supply swaps. And Sue says, hi, Pearl. Allie says, my day was good. If you're looking for another good historical fiction author, Lisa Wingate is really good. Yeah, when you said Lisa Wingate, I was like, oh, look at that. I've not read Lisa Wingate, but I do know that she writes historical fiction. Demers says, I started Sinbin by Chelsea Curto last night, so I'll be reading that tonight. Excellent. And Molly says, hi, Sue. Demers says, I finally finished my arc this weekend. It was just okay. Yep, I get it. That happens sometimes. I swear the first 3 arcs I read, I was like, do I have to finish these? And then I got like a couple 5 stars. I was like, okay, it's a mixed bag. I get it. It's just like, reading. I don't know. I just expected the books to be better if publishers are paying to put them into NetGalley, right? So, is what it is. And Demers says, I finally finished. Oh, I read that. And Molly says, what was the arc? And Sue says, hi to Molly. And today I will be reading The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. I am loving it so far. Not even to page 100 yet. But I loved book 1. I still really, really am enjoying this world. Quite frankly, I think it's impossible and would never exist. It doesn't make sense to me. But this is part of my proof. World building is extremely important to me when I'm reading a book. That's why the spec fic with the literary doesn't work for me. World building is extremely important. However, if the characters are so compelling that you have to be there with them, then I can forgive that. And this is one of those that's like that. So what else did I read that was like, there was something else I read recently that was exactly like that. It was that the world building, I don't buy it, but the characters were so good. Oh, Scythe. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. That one, the world building, I was like, not buying it. Nope. Not buying it for a minute. But the characters were so compelling. I had to figure out. I had to be there. I had to be there with them. And Allie says, hi, Sue. Molly says, not me, hoping I don't have the same one, right? I don't want the same arc, please. And Allie said, oh, and anyone I missed as well. Hello. And Demers says, Molly, the Triton and the Pearl. The FMC was not likable and the romance was lackluster. Yeah, that's driving me crazy. It's like, come on, man. It's a romance. It's like the number 1 part. You have to get that part right. I won't say nothing else matters, but that part has to be right. Boo. Sorry about that, Demers. Yeah, that's no fun. As Molly skims through and makes sure she doesn't have it. All right, I'm about ready to read. I might start my old lady light immediately tonight because these eyes are tired today. I've done a lot of editing. I'm editing Lahia DeWitt's last book in her series. This is the second I've edited, and holy shit, is it good. But my eyes are straining. So we're going to need some extra old lady help here. Oh, 45 minutes to go to Tea and Testament. Oh, yeah, you got this. You can end this the first sprint. No problem. And Sue says hi to Allie. And Allie says, you should definitely finish tonight, Sue. Oh, yeah, for sure. So let's get started on that. Look, I'm going to remember to switch the screen. Must be some kind of miracle day. All right, here we go. 50 minutes. And there was our first sprint. I got to page 107. I love getting past page 100. It makes me happy. And I am liking it, but I'm not loving it like the first book. So there's a lot more. There's a lot of explaining about the school that we got a lot of explaining in the first book. I don't know. I guess I'm like, the plot needs to move a little faster for me. So how did y'all do this sprint? Let's see. Sue is hopeful that she will get her book done tonight since she only had 45 pages to go. And Molly says, my eyes melted out of my head on the way home from Mom's house. I'm so sorry. It's so freaking hot out there. And Glenda joined us. Why, hello, Glenda. How are you? Go Team Yellow, goodbye. Woo, woo. We were in second place last time I looked. Hello, Molly, Pearl, Jen, Allie, Sue, and Demers. It always takes me a minute. I don't know why. And Molly says, Glenda. I cannot see. This is too. Oh, that's better. And Molly says, hey, all, our friend Donna has a huge readathon coming up, non-competitive. Ooh, how fun. I will look at that one later, too. After I get off of here, it always takes me a minute to, calm down enough so I can go to bed. Sue says, hello, Glenda. And Alicia joined us temporarily. Hello, Kelly. Just joining, but it looks like hubby is ready for Vampire Diaries. So, watching that and leaving you up for watch hours. Happy reading. Thank you, Alicia. I will see you in the morning. Jean says, hello, Kelly. I am writing a cover letter. Ooh, hopefully it's for a dream job. Jamie says, hi, Kelly. Why, hello, Jamie. How are you on this fine evening? And Mary has joined us. It's so good to see you, Mary. Hi, folks, reading Candy Apple Kisses, Annette Galley. Oh, yay. More arcs, more arcs. Pearl says, hi there, Mary and Jamie. Jean says, everything seems to be hibernating. Everything sleeping? Mary says, hi, Pearl, Jamie, Sue, Glenda, and Allie. Mary says, Jean. Chris says, hello to teammate Kelly. Hope you're doing well. Definitely, definitely. So glad you're on our team. We're back to second place. I will be reading more. I need to finish this book so I can take it back to the library and get my, it's a sapphic graphic novel. It's The Princess and the Grilled Cheese? Something like that? Hold on. Yep, The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. So I will be getting that one so I can cross graphic novel off of my Hurkid bingo. I almost have a full bingo. So that's 800 points. I mean, I'll take it. And Vanessa, why, hello, Vanessa. Welcome home. How was your trip? I'm home from Pennsylvania. Oof, I'm tired, but have to do work on some Dragon Con stuff, right? There's never a day off. Never a day off. And Mary says, I can't imagine a 72-day readathon. I wish all that participate the very best of luck. I mean, all of mine are year-long, right? I do them year-long. And Mary says, hi, Vanessa. Do you write about dragons? And Vanessa says, ooh, go back. Come back. Vanessa says, Mary, hi there. No, I don't, but a friend of mine does. Actually, a couple of friends, but one I'm thinking of specifically. Well, if it's Paige Christie, that's cool because y'all are going to get to know her. And Mary says, okay, we stand by friends here on BookTube. Are you published historical fiction by chance? Vanessa says, I really do love the support of the BookTube community. Right? It's amazing. And Vanessa is, I'm assuming she's going to answer you later, but Vanessa is published for sure. It is not historical fiction, though. It is paranormal thrillers. She writes in one of the genres I do. And Sue says, I still have 10 pages to go in Tea and Testament. Allie says, I got to page 90 in the Book of Lost Friends. It's going much quicker now that I'm reading the audio. Nice, nice. Pearl says, I'm heading to bed. We hit the road early tomorrow. Thanks for the sprints. Have a great evening. Good night, Pearl. Y'all have an amazing trip. I hope all the food that you packed in the camper are going to satisfy you along the way. Vanessa says, I do have books out. I write urban fantasy with horrific elements and contemporary smut under a pen name. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. That one as well. Jen says, I got to 30%. The last chapter I read was so, so beautiful. Oh, all right. Covenant of Water. I don't, because it's so long, and because of that list, I was like, I don't know. So I guess I don't need to avoid it. Thank you, Jen. Well, let me know if it has a happy ending first. I do want a happy ending. Mary says, good night, Pearl. And Bethany has joined us. Why, hello, Bethany. How are you this fine evening? Please let us know what you are reading. Bethany joined during the sprint. I'm reading Heir of Illusion. I have a little over 100 pages left. Ooh, well, we have 2 sprints left. So it'll be close. Depends on your reading speed. And Mary says, hello, Jen. Pearl says, night-night, Mary. And Vanessa says, hi, Pearl, Allie, and Jen, and everyone I haven't met yet. Allie says, hi, Vanessa. Glenda says, hello, Vanessa. And good night, Pearl. Take care. Vanessa says, Glenda, hi, and Mary. It's nice to meet you, by the way. And Vanessa says, night, Pearl. Mary says, you too, Vanessa. And Vanessa says, the trip was great. I love the In Your Right Mind workshop. And it was great to see some folks I haven't seen in years, decades even. That is cool, right? It's so much fun to go back and see friends again. Vanessa says, it is Paige Christie I was thinking of. You knew that. I did. So, yeah, very excited. I have all the books sitting right over here. So I have to do a big book haul. And there's too many books right here on the side of my desk. It was a busy spring. Almost all of them are legal, but not all of them. I blame TJ Maxx. And Vanessa says, yes, urban fantasy, supernatural suspense, etc., etc. Vanessa says, where is Pearl going? You know, I don't remember right now. She just got back from the competition with her son. I don't remember. Jean says, I am fighting, not reading and writing. You are fighting instead of reading and writing, or you're fighting to do the things you need to do when all you want to do is read and write? Vanessa says, I'm a nosy beesh. Yeah, I just can't remember. I'm so sorry. I know she told me. I don't remember. And Molly says, hi, Vanessa. Vanessa says, hi, Molly. Bethany says, hopefully I can get at least halfway. I have 4 kids. Distractions happen. Exactly. My kids are older now. It doesn't happen as often. Even my dog distracts me. So halfway I could see. You could do it. That's definitely doable. Especially around bedtime, right? Things get chaotic then. And Jean says, my tabs seem to be hibernating. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jean. Vanessa says, did I tell you I finally got King Sorrow back from Libby? So I'm pausing A Darker Shade of Magic to finish it. Oh, yeah, 100%. Get that done. You got a few weeks for Darker Shade. I'm still behind on Darker Shade. It's going to have to wait until I'm done with your kid books, and I only have 4 left. So I'm definitely going to get it done. I won't have to use any of the cheater things. I just have to go all the way to July 6th, which is, I started July 7th last year for the same reason. So I think I'm just always going to start it on July 7th, which is the day QWERTY initially wanted it to start, which is why I started on July 7th the very first year. So it is what it is. I just wanted to start July 1st, right? Let's see. And Allie says, yay, Vanessa, finished The Last of King Sorrow. Vanessa says, at the workshop this weekend, I connected with an author who is a marketing expert, her day job. Ooh, and we're going to do a barter, editing for marketing. I feel like I won the lottery. Yeah, you did. Can you send me her info? Vanessa says, Allie, I'm totally working on it. I think I'm at like 94% right now. And Demers says, I'm not good at sprint hopping. I think I read about 7 pages that sprint. Yeah, I don't do the sprint hopping. I don't. I love my friends over there. I will, like, when I'm done with my sprints, then I'll go say hi to everyone. But then when I'm working, I'm staying on one sprint. So whoever is doing the most consistent, like sticking with their timers and doing the most consistent sprint time so that I can get stuff done, those are the ones I stay to. And I prefer people doing an hour over the hour and a half. Yeah, I don't. I'm really, really bad at it. because I need to get stuff done. So every time I get a distraction, it pulls me out and I got to push myself back in, right? And Vanessa says, oh, wait, Molly is Molly. Sorry, Molly, your disguise worked on me. Yes, Molly is Molly. Bethany says, I'm hiding from kids and husband, kind of. Oh, sorry. I'll keep my voice down then. So sorry. Vanessa says, I think I'm ahead on Darker Shade, but I've also got that course that starts on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Allie says, you can definitely get that done, Vanessa. Vanessa says, is there a spreadsheet for HearKit 3.0? There is. If you go to the, I'm sure Molly, can you find the, help me, Molly. If you go to the QWERTY announcement, it's got them on Ko-Fi. She's got the links on there, and you can go and download them for free. You don't have to support Ko-Fi. You do not have to support, pay for the spreadsheets. And I decided I'm a reader. I'm doing a reader journal, blah, 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 blah. I can talk because I can't not. So I went ahead and bought the book. And then I've been tearing the pages out and cutting the stuff out. So it's got like pages. So I've been cutting this stuff out because my book is only 8. This is 9 inches. My book's only 8 inches. It's an 8x8. So I've been cutting it out and rearranging it on my pages. So that'll be fun. I'm having a good time. Let's see. And Vanessa says, Bethany, come to my house. I'll hide you. Hide from all the kids, but not the kitties. There will be kitties. Molly says, woot. And yes, Vanessa, at her Ko-Fi. Is it Ko-Fi? It's Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi. I don't know. And Molly says, hold on, and I will hunt up the link. Thank you, Molly. Bethany says, it does get crazy because one will start while the other goes on break 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why I can't do it. Vanessa says, Molly, thank you. You're also heart. And Vanessa says, awesome, I mean also heart. My hearts are so pathetic. Look, I have short, stubby fingers, okay? Allie says, 1:30 is usually too long for me, ADHD. Exactly. That's why I prefer an hour's my max. If you give me 1:30, I get distracted before I even get started. Vanessa goes, ugh, I'm so tired. All right, we're going to go this sprint. You can work on DragonCon for 50 minutes, then go to bed. I think that's fair. Jean says, I told someone to read Martian Chronicles when they asked for an old friend read. Oh, I like that one. Mary says, me too, Kelly. And Jean says, I only want to read. Exactly. I mean, can you just read or you have to finish that cover letter? Bethany says, Vanessa, I'll start packing. Jean says, I have you and Paula on multiple tabs and you are both chatting. Yeah, I can't handle that. No, thank you. Choose one. You won't hurt either of our feelings, I assure you. And Vanessa says, y'all are way more organized about this HearKit thing than I am. Well, I'm a little crazy sometimes. Bethany says, come on. Also, I have kitties too. See? That's what I meant, that if she goes to your house, it'll be all kitties. And Molly says, here is the Canva website. Ah, there you go. And Bethany says, kitties are love. Yes, they are. And Molly says, thank you, lovely. And Sue says, it's dinner time, so I'm going to eat just nachos. I mean, nachos sound delicious. All right, here we go. We're going to start our second sprint. Let's get this reading done. And there was our second sprint. I got to page, I meant to look and I forgot, 136. So not bad. It's moving a little slower than I would like, but I'm also having trouble staying awake. It has been a very long weekend and day. And we have 4th of July this weekend. And I have an event tomorrow. I have an edit that's due. Yeah. You know, same as always. It's called life. How did everyone else do in that sprint? Let's see. We had the nachos. And Vanessa said, Bethany, I was gone for almost a week and I missed my fur babies. Allie says, I'm trying to do Your Kid this time, Kelly. Yeah, I saw Allie. I'm so excited. Molly says, any questions, just ask. And Vanessa says, okay, I'm going to finish this email to Jim Butcher's assistant, then add more of my programming to this schedule back end. I love it. I look forward. This will be my last Dragon Con. Maybe not forever, but for a while. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Vanessa sends hearts to Molly. And I said, yay, Allie. So we can do it. I like the ain't nobody got time for this level. Right? So, I mean, we can finish this. We can so do that. So we get that done, and then, anything else we can do, it's just bonus. It's just cake. I figure I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to try to get a bingo one way, and then a bingo the other way, and then I'm just going to read them all. That's my plan. That is my plan. And Bethany says, Vanessa, I have a dog who is a pain, but I tend to miss him and baby him. I blame his eyes. Oh, that's my dog. My gosh, she has that puppy dog thing down. And I said, I plan on finishing. Yep, that's what I put. Vanessa says, and yes, I was name dropping because I'm apparently too tired to think that was crude. It's not crude. That's just part of the life, man. Like I said, I mean, you said you were planning for Dragon Con, Vanessa. That's business, not name dropping. You've earned that spot. And she did. And Vanessa says, Bethany, puppy dog eyes are so hard to resist. You have my empathy. And Vanessa says, oh, yay, Allie, I'm also going to be doing Your Kid from almost the beginning this time. I'd never heard of it till January this year when I joined Morning Pirates. You see that? We're such a bad influence. I mean, a good influence. Hey, it's helping me read wider, and the community is showing me books I didn't know existed. So it is kind of cool. And I'm not doing any of the dice roll silly stuff. I'm just not doing it. That's too complicated for me. So I'm glad that it exists, but that's just too much. I like to plan them, not just do them on a whim. And I want to use as many of the books I own as possible, which is most of them, actually. And Vanessa says, Kelly, I have worked my booty off. Oh, and guess what? We're doing bedtime stories this year. I cheered. I don't know if you saw me, but I was like, yes, bedtime stories. That's so exciting. Vanessa says, ha, 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 I meant booty. No, I gotcha. And Paula dropped in. Why, hello, Paula. So good to see you this evening. Hi, Kelly in chat. Just swinging by to hug the like button. Well, we are happy to see you. Oh, you're heading to bed. Excellent. Thank you. We will have happy sprinting, and I hope you have good sleep. And Molly says, hi, Paula. And Ashley waves. Hello, Ashley. How are you on this fine evening? What are you reading? We have one sprint left, though I might need to go do jumping jacks since I was falling asleep. I'm enjoying the book, not as much as the first one, but the chapters are long, so that makes the pacing slow, and I'm tired, so I'm having trouble. And Paula says, hey, Molly and Ashley. And Molly says, Vanessa, nothing wrong with trying to get extra con money. From what? Ashley says, hi, Paula. And Molly says, hi, Ashley. Ashley says, hi, Molly. Vanessa says, hi, Paula. Hey, Ashley. And Ashley says, hey, Vanessa. Allie says, hi, Paula. And Allie says, hi, Ashley. And Mary says, made it to 54% in Candy Apple Kisses. You're rocking it, man. Moving right along. Jen says, no reading that sprint. I put dishes in the dishwasher and took meds for my shoulder and scrolled until that subsided and came up to get ready for bed. I mean, that's still stuff that had to get done. I did dishes before I got on sprints today. So, yep, it all needs to happen somehow or another. I hope your shoulder feels better. I hope those meds work. Jean says, I think you will like some people. Oh, good. I'm excited. And Jean says, Paula said she might start it. Yay! We need more people to come talk to us about it. I was going to put a post up, like an Instagram post, and I've been busy. I cannot do it all. Allie says, I got to 25% in my audiobook, page 100. Nicely done. You're moving right along, Allie. Jean says, but she is a little under the weather. Aw, poor thing. Well, hopefully she'll feel better soon. And Mary also hopes that Jen's shoulder feels better. And Demers says, I read 26 pages and cleaned the guest bathroom. Ooh, excellent. Now that is a productive sprint. Vanessa says, I'm having trouble with my DC newsletter. I sent to the pros guests. I've spent more time working on that than I should have. I'm super annoyed. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it just not sending out properly? Or Bethany says, I read 32 pages with one interruption. Hey, that's pretty good. 4 kids, 1 interruption. You get points today, Bethany. It's your lucky day. Allie says, yay, I'm excited, Vanessa. And Jen says, I'm starting July 2. I'm going full OG version, but equally as excited. Yay, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm not starting until July 7th, though, because I need to finish these 4 books. This is one of them. I need the N in the alphabet. Of course, the things that I got to choose for myself, I chose them very difficult ones. I don't know what to tell you. I could have chosen so many other ones, your kid ones, and gotten it done. But I wanted a challenge. I chose a challenge, and yeah, I've been challenged. But I will get it done. 4 left. And Jean says, I love that you guys know Jim Butcher. He is around our circles. Jean says, I have nearly read 100 pages of some people. Oh, you're ahead. Is it good? So it is good. I love that. I love that. I love that. Jean says dice rolls. Yeah, the dice rolls I'm not going to do. I don't know what I said, but yeah, that I'm not doing. Vanessa says Jim's fun and a hot mess. Yeah, both of those things for sure. Vanessa says like 85% of the emails bounced, but my bounced subscribers list is only 18 people long, and none of them are part of the DC segment. Oh, shit. So I don't get how I'm supposed to know who's bounced. That's frustrating. Huh. And Allie's also starting July 7th, Kelly. Yay! We'll start together. I'm so excited. And I think I have Wishing Game on there as, what should I put it as? I don't remember. Hold on, let me find. I might not have put it on here. Oh, the characters, the authors one, because in the Wishing Game, if I start with that one, the main character in that is Lucy. And then I can read after that, I have that one digitally. I can read by Lucy Score, Maggie Moves On. And so the main character in this obviously is Maggie. And then for that, I'm going to read. Oh. Maggie O'Farrell author, Hamnet. Haha, look at that. See that? You see that? Very excited. Very excited. All books I wanted to read. And I think that is I don't think that one's a double. I think it's just for that one. Yep. So I do have Wishing Game on here. And like I said, I'm going to try to read it. So it'll be one of my first. So that's an option too, if you want to do the characters, the authors. So that works beautifully. Let me green it. Because I had Rock Bottom Girl that I have to read also. That's Lucy Score. But the main character was a name that I didn't have any authors for. I was like, well, does Lucy have anything with the characters that I do? And it was Maggie. And I was like, perfect. I need to read Hamnet so badly. I feel so left out. I must read it. And Vanessa says, and this was the programming survey. Oh. Maybe send it again and just say, if you got this twice, please ignore it. I'm so sorry. Emails being evil. Let's see. And Sue says, I read 3 pages. I was talking to my daughter. I mean, sometimes daughters be like that. And I get very frustrated. And yet I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's life. Mary says, what is starting July 7th? Here, kid, the hardest reading challenge you ever do, 3.0. That is its official start date. But as QWERTY has said, you can start it whenever you want. Just do it for a year. So a lot of people are starting on July 1st. And I really wanted to this year. She starts on July 7th because that's her birthday, right? And it's her readathon. And this is the third version, right? And I've been there since 1. I've completed 1. I will complete 2. And we'll see what happens with 3. But so that's when it officially starts, is on her birthday. But, who's watching you? And that's what Cordy says. Who's watching you? Vanessa says, I really want to just go read King Sorrow, but I've got to figure this shit out. Ugh. I mean, you could probably text Zafo and see if he can figure it out. He's still up. Alicia says, I'm off to bed. See you in the morning. Good night, Alicia. Blah, blah. Can you see me not talking? I'm very tired. Good night, Alicia. Also, half of my stuff got delayed and it's not going to be delivered till tomorrow, and I'm very upset about it. Anyway. And Jean says, for the readathon, how would you categorize an alchemist that changes gender in a fantasy called Infinity Alchemist? What do you mean, how would I characterize or categorize? What do you mean by that? I don't understand. What do you mean by categorize? And Sue says, I'll be starting 3.0 on the 7th as well. I keep changing my strategy, right? Jean says, how did you get to Maggie? I lost the way. At the very beginning. So the wishing game, the main character in that, in the wishing game, I don't have that one physical, so I couldn't show you it. So in the wishing game, the main character in that is named Lucy. So I'm going to read that one. I've been wanting to read it for years. And then, so that Lucy, that name then has to be the next author's name. So Lucy goes to Lucy Score, this author, and the main character in this book is Maggie. So then I went to an author whose name is Maggie, and that's Maggie. And then I'm going to read this one. It's only 3, so it doesn't matter that this character's name's Hamnet. Because, William Shakespeare's name. I could use William. There's probably an author somewhere. Yeah, like I have an author named William with my company who's amazing. And Vanessa says the resend bounce too. I wish I knew something and I know nothing. Allie says, see you in the morning, Alicia. Sleep well. Jen says, me too, Sue. I'm sticking with my July plan, but past that is definitely not written in stone, right? I have duplicated as much as I possibly could, which is 103 books. So 103 books to finish it. So this is very doable, but I'll still be reading almost all Hurkid books, right? But I chose the ones I wanted to read, right? But still, it'll be mostly Hurkid books. But what I'm doing is if I read another book that fits a category that's doubled up, then I'm just going to add it to Hurkid. Why not? And then so I can have as little duplicates as possible. So we'll see. We shall see where it ends. But that is my current strategy. And Demers says, congrats on being on track to finish Hurkid 2.0 and the R Fantasy Bingo. Yes. Well, I don't know if I'm on track for that. I'm behind, but not by as much as I thought. Not too bad, right? Right? Not too bad. But I will finish it because those are my favorite books. Those are the ones I definitely, absolutely want to read. So, and Vanessa says, I'm pretty good with this platform. I think the info I need just isn't there. So need to reach out to CS. There you go. There you go. Well, in that case, I think you should leave it till the morning and you should read King Sorrow. I'm a bad influence. And Jean says, would you categorize as non-binary or trans? I mean, does the character change? First of all, does the character identify as any of these? Then that's what it is. If not, does the character change multiple times? Then that's fluidity, right? Do they not care? Like what pronouns you use or what you call them? That would be more that's not true. That's more fluidity too. If they want, I'm not an expert. I can't help. I always think as trans though, is that they were born in the wrong body and they've now chosen the gender that they feel is correct for them. That's how they've always felt, or at least felt as long as they thought about it. Right. That's a trans thing. So I don't know this character. So I don't know why they changed gender in the middle, right? Demers says, I saw your mid-year video and saw you finish the last Our Fantasy, right? Oh, for that. Yes. So sorry. So sorry. Yes. Yes, I did. I rocked it. Yes. For the last year, 2025. See, I was so behind that it was behind in my brain. I wasn't even thinking about it. Yes, I did. I was very proud of myself. Thank you very much. Again, though, my favorite books I read. That's what I say, Vanessa, but it's a character in a book. Yeah, it's not an actual human, right? Because then we could talk to them. Yes, you're right, Demers. And thank you for watching. And Jen says, well, Kelly Cal, I'm super tired, so I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow for Morning Pirate. Sleep sweet, everyone. Sleep sweet, Jen. Have good sleep. And Jean says, I think I will read the whole book to see how they behave. There you go. I was confused too. Yeah, I don't know. You can also see what the author said about the character, right? If the author has put them into a category. Vanessa says, generally speaking, in my experience, people who use they, them identify as non-binary. That's what I was about to say. I was like, wait, am I right? People who ID as the gender that isn't associated with the sex they were born are trans. That's what I was thinking too. And some NB people use binary pronouns at different times. Jean, I had to approve Vanessa with the word trans. Yeah. I don't know why that one can't just get approved. That one's crazy. But thank you, Vanessa. I'm still working because I'm an ally, not part of the community. So I don't always know the proper terms, but I'm trying. I just like it when people just tell me what pronoun to use. I'm like, done. I can do that. No problem. Tell me how you want me to, like, I try to say people's names right. I try to spell them right. Same thing with pronouns. I try so hard to get the pronouns right. However you identify is just fine with me. So let me know what it is, and I'll do everything I can to stick with it. All right. Last sprint. Let's see. Jean says, I had to approve Vanessa. Yeah. And Vanessa says, but in my experience, people who use binary pronouns are gender fluid. I mean, that's how Small Miracles went, which was an awesome book, by the way. Vanessa, highly recommend. Love to everyone. Did I say Small Wonders? Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater was so good. It was just charming. And that character was gender fluid and did exactly that. When that character was dressed up as male, then it was he pronouns. And when that character was dressed up as female, it was female character. It was female pronouns. Jean says, I know the author is trans. This is their first fantasy series. Vanessa says, I'm also an ally, but I have an extraordinarily high percentage of my friends that are NBGF or trans. Yeah, 100%. I knew you would know better than I did. And Jean says, the author uses they, them, or he, him. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds more non-binary to me. So I don't know. Read the whole book and see if it fits in any of these categories. And then if it doesn't, email the author. Or look for an interview. I always do that when I'm trying to figure out how to say an author's name, right? Look for an interview. There's always interviews where they talk about their characters. All right. Oh, you just said that they were trans, though. So there you go. Finish the book first. It's hard when you're trying to do a readathon and categorize, where you're like, I'm just trying to read and learn different experiences so my mind is more open. All right, here we go. 50 minutes. Got too quiet in here. That alarm made me jump. But I did make it to page 170. So yay, halfway. I'll take it. How did y'all do? How did your reading go? She had another cry moment in this book. Naomi Novik is really good at hitting those emotions, let me tell you. Molly says, I'm a sad reader tonight. I need hugs. Aw, Molly, we'll give you hugs. I'm going to give you hugs. Hold on. There's hugs in here. Where are the hugs? Where's the hugs? There you go. There you go. Hugs, Molly. Vanessa says, Molly, tackle hugs. I love it. Is that big enough? I can go bigger. And Glenda gives hugs and love to Molly. And Sue says, finish Tea and Testament, 4 stars. Oh, nice. Nicely done. Congratulations. Sue says, working on my reading journals. Yay, I shall be doing that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start. I mean, I have to wait to start. I have stuff to do, but, you know, metaphorically, I can't wait to start. And Molly says, thanks, Vanessa and Glenda. And Glenda says, you are welcome, Molly. And Vanessa gives more hearts. And Molly says, thank you for sprints. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Why didn't my thing show up? My hugs did not show up at all, Molly. Are they on your screen? They're not on mine. There they are. For some reason, it was blank on my screen. I'm like, did the hug show up or not? How rude. So they did. Good. And Demers said, the alarm made me jump too, right? It's like we're late enough at night now that alarm made me jump. And you read 35 pages. Yay, nicely done. We've done so good today. I'm so proud of us. Apparently there's an X in there. There you go. And Glitter, or Molly, did all the hearts. And Vanessa says, I've got almost all my DC programming in. Yay! And after your long weekend of being tired, and you still got shit done. Good job. And Sue says, thank you for the sprints. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And Molly says, I see your hugs. Okay, cool. Cool. It wasn't showing on my screen. I was like, what the heck? So good. We send you hugs. And now I'm going to go get my I've earned it bowl of ice cream before going to bed. I know it's very healthy, but look, man, I can't do all the things. So I'm going to go get some ice cream and then watch that reading challenge, Molly. So we shall see. And that's it for today. So we will be back tomorrow with Morning Time Pirates at 9 a.m. Eastern. So we'll be on for 30-minute sprints to get some writing done. I rewrote a scene this morning and I'm moving right along. So very excited to get this book done. But I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.